Alright guys, in this video I'm going to be letting you know the 3 traits that you need in order to be a good hair transplant candidate. But before we get started, if you guys are interested in researching a surgeon and you want to see real, raw and unfiltered results posted by real patients, I'm going to go ahead and link the Hair Restoration Network discussion forum in the description box, guys. It is a free forum to use, it's free to browse, and you see real results posted by actual patients, so take advantage. Alright, now let's get started. Now I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking that I'm going to say that you need to have good hair characteristics in order to be considered a good hair transplant candidate. But you're wrong. Now, having a dense donor supply is obviously beneficial, and having thick hair and coarse hair is obviously beneficial, but they're not a must, and they don't make you a good hair transplant candidate, because you can have all those things and still be considered a bad hair transplant candidate. And I'm gonna get into the reasons why and what actually makes you a good hair transplant candidate. Okay, so the first thing that makes you a good hair transplant candidate is having and setting realistic expectations for your results. Okay, I always say this on this channel, and you guys are probably tired of hearing me say that, but it's important because you really have to have realistic expectations. That's key in order to be considered a good hair transplant candidate. You can have the densest donor area, you can have the thickest hair, you can have all of that, but if you don't have realistic expectations, you're not a good hair transplant candidate, period. You guys may be asking yourselves, how do I know if I have realistic expectations? Well, I'm going to go ahead and include a link in the description box where you can go ahead and submit your photos to one of our pre-screened surgeons, and they will let you know if your goals are actually achievable surgically. And they'll give you a graft estimate, and more importantly, all of this is free, so I highly suggest to take advantage. Alright, now let's get on to number 2. Okay, so number 2 is going to be a bit more controversial, but you need to have good finances. Okay, I don't think you're a good candidate if you're going into surgery thinking, I got $4,000 to put into my surgery, where can I go? Because then you're going to be letting price and cost be a deciding factor. Now, I'm not saying that every surgery that's a success has to be expensive, but you want to have options, and you want to look for the surgeons that do the best work, not the cheapest surgeons. This is where a lot of guys fall into this pitfall where they go, to these black market FUE clinics because they're charging little to nothing for a graft, and they end up leaving with depleted donor areas and nothing to show for it, and unfortunately don't have any recourse. So I highly suggest, if you're considering a hair transplant, save up some money, do your research, and always let the results be the deciding factor. Now let's get on to number 3. Last but certainly not least is you want to have your hair loss stabilized. How do you stabilize your hair loss? Well, you can use finasteride, minoxidil, PRP, the derma roller, exosome therapy, laser helmets. I mean, there are literally tons of things that you can take that will slow the progression of further hair loss. You don't want to end up with net gain, meaning you don't want to end up having, let's say, 2,000 grafts and end up losing 4,000 grafts and end up looking even worse, or send yourself into shock loss that doesn't recover and end up looking way worse than you did before the surgery. This is why it's so important, it's why it's so crucial to have your hair loss stabilized at least for 6 months to a year before having surgery. In closing, guys, if you guys like the content and you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you guys would give me a like, and if you guys like this channel, and I really hope you guys do, I would really appreciate it if you guys would go ahead and subscribe, and if you think anybody would benefit from this video, go ahead and share it with them. Alright, until next time.